Hola a todo el mundo y bienvenido a mi canal. Yo me llamo Sirey. Soy una abogada afro-latina licenciada practicando la ley criminal, pero como todos ustedes, a mí me fascina cuando estamos hablando de casos de crímenes reales. En este video vamos a continuar hablando de Karmelo Anthony. Si quieren más video en español, nada más dime allá abajo. Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Desiree. I'm a licensed and practicing Afro-Latina criminal attorney who, much like the rest of you, has a severe fascination with true crime cases. Listen. Okay, you guys, so I typically have like a recording schedule, like a specific schedule where I sit down and pre-record a bunch of videos for you guys to view. This video falls outside of my schedule. Kind of like my second Karmelo video did. And I had my nails on, my shit wasn't together. Whoa, excuse my language. But anyways, it's come to my attention that some of the Karmelo Anthony trial evidence was released specifically on Juneteenth. So Friday, June 19th of 2026. Regardless of the date it was released, it's here and it's available for all of us to consume. I got at least one question asking if the evidence that was released changed my opinions on the conviction. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Here's our continued coverage on the case of Karmelo Anthony. Okay, you guys, so I'm going to try to take things in somewhat of a chronological order, but without any promises or guarantees as to how the prosecution presented their case, right? So let's talk about the 911 call first. Okay, so it has been released. The 911 call in this case has been released. It's my understanding that the 911 call was made by one of Austin's friends after the stabbing. And the friend told the 911 call operator that he's bleeding everywhere or there's blood everywhere and asked for assistance and urged someone to come out and assist Austin. I also, in reviewing the 911 call, heard that the friend said that Karmelo was with a coach. So he couldn't hurt anyone anymore. So he was being, held by the coach. So he can't hurt anyone anymore. I know that the 911 call operator asked for more clarification. Like, what do you mean he can't hurt anyone? Like, what do you mean he's with a coach? Like, are they physically restraining him? Something to that effect. To which the caller responded, no, but he's just with a coach, so he can't harm anyone. Okay, you guys. So it's my understanding that the caller said his name was Nathan, Nathan, Nathan. But I saw a few media outlets saying that the caller's name was Mason, Mason. I can understand, like, in the jumbled up gargle of whatever, that those names might sound relatively similar. I went back, I listened to the 911 call once again. I heard the 911 call taker refer to him as Nathan, and asked for his assistance. And I think his name is Nathan. Okay. But without any further ado, take a listen to this 911 call and tell me how you feel.
Frisco 911, what is the location of the emergency?
Hi, we're at Kuykendall Stadium. My friend just got stabbed.
Okay, do you know who stabbed him?
We have no clue. He was sitting in our tent, but you need to send an ambulance right now.
They're on the way, okay? Give me a description of the person that stabbed him.
He was wearing a gray Essentials hoodie. He was black. He's standing out on the track right now.
He's standing on the track?
Yeah.
Okay.
His blue sweatpants on and John.
Okay, what did he stab your friend with?
I don't know. My friend's bleeding everywhere.
Okay. Where was he stabbed at?
The chest.
Okay. And do you still see the person that stabbed him, or did he leave?
It was Austin. Austin got stabbed in the chest. I'm sorry, what did you say?
The person that stabbed him, is he still there? Do you still see him?
There's adults on him, I think. Yeah.
There's adults that are trying to keep him there?
Know who he is. Sorry, what?
The person that stabbed your friend, is he still there?
Yeah, he's still here.
Okay, and
he's with the coach.
There's a coach with him?
Yes, he's with. People got him.
Okay. Do you know if he still has the weapon on him?
No clue, but he's like he can't do nothing. He's done.
What do you mean?
He stabbed Austin Metcalf in the chest. What?
What do you mean he can't do anything? What's going on with him?
Coaches have him. He can't hurt anyone.
Okay, when you say they have him, are they physically holding him down?
No, they're just holding him walking around. Okay. He was under our team. Austin tried to make a move.
Okay. What's your name?
Nathan Nordyke.
What's your last name? Nathan.
Yes, ma'am.
What's your last name?
Nordyke.
Okay. And do you see any of the responders there yet?
We hear the sirens, but
Okay.
the coach has sent us out. We're all walking to our buses.
Okay. So you're going to get on a bus right now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And the rest of the students are walking towards the buses?
Yeah, everyone's being evacuated out the stadium.
Okay.
Thank you so much for being quick.
Okay. Just follow whatever directions you're being provided by either the officers or by your coaches, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and disconnect with you, Nathan, but we've got all kinds of help headed that way.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay. So my specific opinions on this 911 call, I don't think that it really moves the ball for or against either side. And I'll explain. Karmelo already admitted that he did it. Okay. The prosecution is putting on a case where the defendant in the case has already admitted that he's done it. So a 911 call just of a friend explaining that Austin is hurt and asking for help doesn't really move the ball as far as evidence is concerned either way, or the strength of either person's case, in my opinion. I mean, obviously it's emotional, it's heart-wrenching, it might tug on the juror's heartstrings, but as far as like, does it prove that he did it? No, because he already said he did. So it's not any more proof than his own words. Does that make sense? But let me know what you guys think about it below. Okay, so in addition to the 911 call, the surveillance footage was also released. Before I get into just my general opinions after viewing the surveillance footage, can I just tell you guys just some stories about my own personal practice? Okay, just bear with me. I will tell you this. More times than not, I personally find that surveillance footage hasn't really been helpful to my specific cases, okay? And I will say that I think the only trials that I have not won have been those where surveillance footage has been involved. I'll be honest, right? So the reason I am sharing this with you guys is to say I have seen countless pieces of surveillance footage, film, whatever. None of it, in my mind, including this one, is really dispositive of anything, right? In viewing the surveillance footage, you see Austin and maybe two or so other friends walking, and then it cuts to like the bleachers where the incident happened, and everything's a blob. Everything's a blur. Everything is just jumbled. You really can't make anything out. And I know that there are supporters on each side, right? On the Karmelo side, there are supporters that are like, well, Austin walking up with a few other gentlemen proved that Karmelo was jumped. And there are supporters on the other side like, well, this surveillance footage just proves that Karmelo stabbed him to death in a cold-hearted fashion. And I don't think it proves anything. I don't think it proves either of those things. In the first initial footage where we see Austin walking up with some friends, okay, but nothing's to say that in the second footage where we actually see the incident, that Austin was still with those same friends under the tent. Can we assume that? Sure. I don't operate off of assumptions. I did not see that. I don't think you can honestly tell me you saw it. All we saw was Austin and some friends walking up and then cut to the bleachers, and then Karmelo starts running away. That's literally it. But go ahead and take a look for yourself and tell me what you think. Okay, you guys, the next piece of evidence I want to discuss with you guys is the body-worn camera footage of Karmelo Anthony's arrest. Let's start with the obvious. The first thing I will say is that I saw a lot of people challenging the authenticity of the footage because the timestamp on it was not correct. Okay. And I noticed that as well. So let me say that. I noticed that as well. It said something about year 2016, I believe. And obviously, this happened last year in 2025. Let me explain some reasons, or at least a reason why that could happen, because I do believe this is the actual footage from the actual incident of what actually happened. I think a lot of times, when police officers are new, and I don't know if this officer is new, I'm just hypothesizing with you so you can kind of, understand. They don't properly calibrate their equipment. So if an officer doesn't properly calibrate his body-worn camera footage or his body-worn camera, that means that the date and time can be wrong. Okay, so that means that the date and time can be wrong. Do I think that this properly captures Karmelo's arrest? Yes. I mean, if we go back to the arrest report that we discussed and what was happening at the scene, remember how Karmelo said that he did it after the officer radioed, "I have an alleged suspect," right? This is what happened in the footage. So I believe it's accurate footage from the date of event, but I want you guys to go ahead and look at it and just let me know what you think.
But hold on.
And I'm protecting myself.
Where do you want me?
If somebody is treating the victim, they need to be over there. Don't reach for anything, all right, man? Stop right there for me. Right there. Dispatch 443. I got the suspects. And they're currently treating the victim. Again, he's on the north end of the stadium. All right. Any weapons on you like that? I'll look here.
How long? He put his hand over there. I know I'm not.
Help me, y'all back up a little bit. Come over here for me. Come over here. I'm gonna put your handcuffs for now, okay? Dispatch 443. Everybody can slow down. I got the alleged suspect in handcuffs right now detained.
Everyone else can slow down.
Hold on. You can open up the channel, and medics are clear to come in. Have them come to the northeast entrance. That's gonna be a gate that's wide open there, and then you come to the victim from there.
Crazy.
All right, here's the alleged suspect. So.
I will.
All right. Okay. What big down? So nothing on your person at all?
No,
nothing.
No, sir.
Mind if I reach in your pockets and stuff and all that? Nothing been stabbing them?
No, sir.
Okay.
Crazy.
All right, I'm gonna be a little personal there, okay? Just
Yes, sir.
to make sure.
My car's right there, man.
Okay. Yeah.
You want me to get up now?
Go. All right. The victim's gonna be underneath that tent over there, so I'll get medics.
Thank you for analyzing.
Memorial tent over there, guys. All right.
He put his hands on me. I told him not to. He put his hands on me.
What's happening right now? Victim is over here on the north end. They got staff tending to him right now. This is the alleged suspect. All right. Already? No. We searched them. We got nothing on him.
I don't know what happened. Crazy.
That's the wrong thing.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry.
You want to
Up to you. It's up to you.
It's fine. This is closer.
Okay. Let me do one more little check of you, okay?
Yes, sir.
You don't mind for reaching your pockets, anything like that? You good?
Well, you're just wearing one pair of pants?
No. I'm wearing some little underwear.
What do you mean? Did it have
Like
pockets? Or
no, ma'am. I don't think so.
All right. What's your name, man?
Karmelo Anthony. Karmelo.
Okay.
Crazy.
Have a seat here real quick, man. Watch your head. Let me check your hood here, buddy, okay?
Yes, sir.
Well, I'll tell you what, lean this way so you're not resting on your hands, okay? All right, see a little bit of blood on your hands there, okay? All right. So your first name is Karmelo? Karmelo. Let's see, hold on one second. Is he gonna be okay? I don't know yet, man. Karmelo, Cara Kar Melo. Melo. Karmelo. What's your last name? Anthony. O-N-Y. Where are you in? I'm in 12th grade. 10th grade? You go to Emerson? No, sir. Where do you go? Centennial. Okay. I'm in 12th grade. 12th grade? Yes. Okay. North Centennial. All right, sit tight for me real quick, bud, all right?
Much like my opinion on the 911 call, I think that the body-worn camera footage of Karmelo's arrest is just a factual piece of evidence. If I was keeping score, I wouldn't be like, this is strong evidence for the prosecution, or this is super damaging evidence for defense. I wouldn't say either of those things because, again, Karmelo already admitted it. It's nice to paint a clearer picture for the jurors, but I think other than just painting a picture for the jurors of the scene and what exactly happened and the arrest and, the officers approaching him and him saying, I'm not alleged, I did it, I don't really think it matters much either way, right? Let me share something else with you guys. And you guys might have already thought about this or might have already heard this, but I'm going to let you hear me say it because maybe it'll resonate better. Whenever there is a defendant claiming self-defense, they're already admitting that they did the crime. Let me say that again. Whenever there is a defendant who is claiming self-defense, the defendant is already admitting that they did the crime. Okay? Period. Because what they're saying is, yes, I did it, but I acted in self-defense when doing it. Does that make sense? So whenever we see a case moving forward where the claim or the defense is self-defense, I want us to be mindful of that. So we're not arguing whether or not they did it. They're already admitting it by virtue of a self-defense claim. We're just analyzing whether or not the self-defense claim is valid for their actions in the case. Okay? But anyways, let's go ahead and carry on. The last piece of evidence that I was able to see that I want to share with you guys is a photo of the knife that the prosecution introduced into evidence in Karmelo's case in chief. As you guys can see here, it's a foldable knife. I'm estimating probably 3 to 4 inches long. And yeah, they introduced it into evidence to show the jurors what the murder weapon was. Okay, you guys are probably going to try to chew me up in the comment section about this, but have at it. Okay, have at it. I never understood the whole hoopla about the knife being at the sporting event. I never understood that, right? I felt like people were getting caught up in the weeds about that. But I saw that from commentator after commentator about, well, why does he have a knife at a school event? Why does he have a knife at the track meet? And I'm trying to figure out why it matters, but for this happening, right? If he just had a knife on him at a school event and nothing else happened, would we care as much? Does that make sense? I do not believe just because Karmelo had a knife on him, that means he intended to kill someone. I think that's a stretch, right? People carry knives on them for all different types of circumstances and reasons, to include cutting things. I don't know. I've seen people with pocket knives. I've seen people with knives on keychains. There's, hunters, fishers, like people who use it for lunch because they're, peeling an orange. I don't know. I can think of so many reasons why someone would have a knife on them. Remember how Karmelo is said to have worked 2 jobs while he was attending school to kind of help his family make ends meet? I am not saying this with any sort of certainty, so this is not anything that I learned in the case. But let's assume one of those jobs was working as a stalker at a grocery store, or working like unpacking groceries or whatever, right? Opening boxes requires knives, right? I'm literally just playing this game of mental gymnastics to take you guys out of your comfort zone, okay? Do I think that it was proper for him to have a knife at a sporting event? No, it shouldn't have been there. But do I think all of this hoopla about the fact that he had a knife meant he intended to kill someone? I don't buy that either. Let's just be honest with ourselves, right? People carry things for different reasons. I'll give you guys an example about me, myself. I carry a little pair of scissors with me most places I go. They're like, now I've downgraded to like these tiny little like nose trimmer scissors. But before I had like a kid pair of scissors that were bright pink. people might look at that and be like, why does she got scissors on her? Blah, blah, blah. Does she intend to hurt someone? Blah, blah, blah. I literally carry it because I'm always wearing a suit. And sometimes you'll see like little threads hanging that I want to cut. Or sometimes in the suit pocket, it's stitched together. So I want to cut into that. You know, whenever you wear a new suit, that's literally it. You know, I just think like we should not be so quick to jump to conclusions based on unproven facts. Okay. Now, I also feel like because this knife thing and the fact that he had a knife at an event was such a major question, despite the fact that I didn't believe it to be this grand thing, I think that his defense attorney should have talked about it. When you know that something is in the minds of other people, and specifically, you know the prosecution's going to bring it up, right? You know the prosecution's going to be like, well, he had a knife at a sporting event. You should have explained why. And I don't believe that we heard any testimony about why he had the knife at the sporting event. Okay, but let's carry on. Okay, you guys. So you might be asking yourself, why do I say okay, you guys, so much? Whenever I watch things back, like when I'm editing this footage for you guys, I'm like, why do I keep saying that? Maybe it's like a filler word. Let me tell you a funny story. It's not funny like haha, but funny like interesting, because a lot of people have filler words. I have one of my best friends who's also an attorney, and every time she's in court and there's like a lull, she'll be like, court's indulgence. Like instead of just staying quiet, she'll be like, court's indulgence. So I say that because this is kind of like my court's indulgence. I'm like, okay, you guys. And I do catch myself saying it a lot. But anyways, I'm sorry. But okay, you guys. You might be like, well, Desiree, you basically went through and said all of the pieces of evidence that were introduced didn't really hold much weight in your mind for either side. And I guess I did say that. Right. But what I think the strongest piece of evidence in this case is, as we've heard it to be, because obviously we weren't in the courtroom, is or are the witness's testimony. Right. I think a lot of the witnesses testified in that case, obviously credibly, because the jurors believed them, and they made some statements that were kind of damaging to Karmelo's case. I do think that. So I think when the witnesses testified, to include Karmelo's own witnesses, saying that Karmelo himself was the initial aggressor and that Austin was not the initial aggressor, and just some more damaging thing like Karmelo wasn't defending himself, like I think that's what cooked him. I think witness credibility is a huge thing, and it goes a long way. And I don't necessarily, in my mind, and again, like you guys might be viewing it and thinking something different, but in my mind, I didn't see any of this evidence and was like, oh my gosh, that's what did him in. I didn't see any of it like that, right? But I wanted to make this video with you guys just to share my opinions on the trial evidence, knowing that it has now been released. Okay, so those are my opinions on it. But yeah, let me know anything it is you need to let me know down below. Pause. As I tell you guys all the time, I really enjoy talking to you guys. I love making these videos for you guys. I love analyzing cases for you guys. And I love that you value my opinion, right? But a lot of times I try my hardest to bring you the thing about which I am talking about, right? So meaning I will oftentimes find the statute that's applicable, find the law, apply that to the facts. I'll show you the motions. I'll show you the appeals. I'll show you the arguments from different attorneys because I want you to see it. I don't ever want to be, your basis of knowledge, if that makes sense. I want you guys to be able to go into the world and have these conversations with your family and friends without being like, well, I watched this attorney on YouTube and her name is Desiree, and Desiree said. You should never say that. I want you to be like, Desiree showed it to me. Let me show you, right? So that's why I try my best to show you stuff when it becomes available or when I feel like it's applicable. I want you to understand the logic behind certain things. And based on the comments, I think you guys really enjoy that. So that's cool. Okay. Anyways, if you enjoyed this video, can you please let me know that you enjoyed it? Can you like, comment, share, and subscribe? Until next time, y'all take care.